Have you ever felt imposter syndrome? I have to tell you, you are not alone because I am feeling it right now as I am talking at this camera solo. And I know what you're thinking, Shelby, why are you talking to the camera solo? Great question, and I would love to answer it for you. Today, we are diving into a social media conversation, and you know I hold social media conversations near and dear to my heart. It's what got me started in this marketing, business, and sales world. So when I joined the Bing Bang team a couple years ago, I knew that social media was my bread and butter. And around that same time, even probably before, the Iowa Renewable Fuels Association wanted to work with us to develop a brand focused on encouraging new and young drivers to choose unleaded 88 at the pump. In case you're unfamiliar as to what unleaded 88 is, I'm going to explain it to you because it'll be pertinent in today's conversation. Unleaded 88 is a type of fuel that contains 15% ethanol, which means that 15% of this fuel is made from corn. It's a fuel that lessens carbon emissions, saves drivers money, reduces cancer-causing toxins in the air we breathe, and supports our Iowa corn farmers. So after tons of research, trial and error, and even a focus group of high school students, we finalized the Drive Clean brand. The main objective of this project was to reach our target audience through social media content. So that's exactly what we did and what we're still doing to this day. Content, content, content. But I have to tell you that there is this common theme that I see with clients we work with, and it is this desire to get more followers. On any type of social platform, people want more followers because it serves as this goal that is easy to measure. I mean, who doesn't want to reach goals? We love hitting goals. Now, I get that there have been a lot of changes on social media platforms from Facebook to YouTube to Instagram and everything in between. And with all these changes comes an underlying feeling of overwhelm. As a marketer, these changes can mess up our strategy. Like finally, when we are feeling good about our approach we are taking, boom, something changes. Much like Instagram's new platform Threads, people felt some type of way when it was released. But oftentimes we build things as though they are certain or fact. But I'm here to tell you that everything, even outside of social media, changes. The best marketers evolve with it. That's something I learned the hard way when I first got into the space after college. I came into it with the belief that there was a certain way to do things and a certain way to get results. But that's not marketing. Marketing is anything but certain. Even the data you have access to could have tons of variables that come into play. The only thing you can be certain of and have control over is your effort. So as we get into this episode, keep that in mind. Let go of the so-called facts or standards and embrace evolution. Because the truth is, these changes will always keep coming, and it'll always make adjusting your approach a common and frequent occurrence. But the good news is that with change comes new opportunities, once we change our perspective to one of evolution. Okay, so it doesn't matter what industry you're in, I bet you want more exposure, right? And you probably want more engagement too, so it can lead to more exposure and ultimately sales. But while we want all of these things, there's one thing that often gets overlooked. Going deeper with the followers that you have already attracted to your business and serving them well so you can aim to expand. Build the foundation now with the people who are interested in you to support your growth in the future. Because if you were to ask me if number of followers matters, I would honestly say no, because from my perspective, it's a vanity metric. However, if that is a goal of yours that you want to achieve, that is completely okay. To that, I would say as long as you are continuing to see growth in your follower count, that is a win. You can't expect thousands of followers overnight, heck, even in a year. It takes time based on the social media landscape of today, which is why you need to remind yourself to serve the followers you already have. Now that the foundation is set, let's talk about the steps you need to take to grow your following. I want to keep this as simple and actionable as possible, so tip number one is to create relatable content with every piece of content you create. Ask yourself if this content is giving your audience the opportunity to get to know you better. I strongly believe that content should do at least one of three things: educate, empower, or entertain. The reach of your content will increase when it achieves one of those three things. Here's an example of how we educated our followers on something that will benefit them. Now, some key pieces that I wanted to point out when it comes to social media content is number one, Reels. I'm going to call it like I see it. Short form video is the reigning engagement champ. So we want to be sure to utilize it throughout our strategy to increase discoverability. The stats say followers want to see Reels. Second is the audio. We incorporated the use of trending audio as it is a very simple way for your reels to get discovered. Whether it's a trending song or sound, it's going to allow you to get in front of more people. Lastly, on this example, I wanted to bring up the topic of length. I have the tendency of mixing up the length of videos we're creating. But with this one we just looked at, it was nothing fancy. It was literally a 5-second clip that I found in my footage archives to remind people that our brand has human beings behind it. I find that if you can get to the point of your reel in about 15 seconds, there is a higher likelihood for someone to watch it again. Side note, we did put a lengthy amount of text on this clip in particular so that it takes people at least 2 views to read it all. We're not just doing this stuff for shits and giggles, people. We are putting strategy behind the content we are creating. But as I said, I also like to incorporate 30, 60, even 90-second reels. So I'm going to show you one way that you can do that with a longer piece of educational content. Hey you, heard you're a new driver and don't know what fuel to choose at the pump. I'm Shelby, an influencer for Drive Clean. We created this brand to empower you to fuel up with unleaded 88 and to cut through the outdated fuels that are still available to you at the pump. Now, what makes unleaded 88 the obvious choice, you ask? It's the most affordable, cleaner burning, natural fuel that reduces cancer-causing toxins in the air we breathe, so your lungs feel great, your engine feels great, and your wallet feels great. All of that comes from one choice, the choice you make at the pump by choosing unleaded 88. P.S. Just look for the yellow 88 sticker, or E15 or E-Blend, depending on which gas station you're at. Here's the Driving Clean. Just a couple of things I wanted to point out was you want to catch them with an engaging hook in the first 3 seconds of your reel. With this one, you can see that I started out with a question, but maybe you can come out strong and say 3 reasons you need to be fueling up with unleaded 88. No matter what, you want those first 3 seconds to be the most valuable thing in that video content. Final thing I wanted to quickly note was to utilize quick cuts and mixing up your environments, like the background of your videos, to keep that short attention span engaged. I know it's just the way the world works nowadays. We have short attention spans. Now that we have positioned ourselves as a trusted expert, we want to empower our followers so they feel inspired, seen, and understood. Here's an example of how we did that. Let's all agree to use less toxic fuel. Let's all agree to use less toxic fuel. Okay, so you're starting to pick up what we're putting down. Using a simple, encouraging message that our target audience can relate to allows them to know, like, and trust us. Let's watch this other example. So the other night I was out having dinner with some friends and we were just chatting about how it seems lately how the price of everything just keeps going up. And it was in the middle of this conversation when a friend brought up how she was filling up her car with gas the other day and noticed that there was this fuel called unleaded 88 that was the cheapest amongst all the options that were available to her at the time. And she looked at us and asked, have you guys ever heard of this fuel called unleaded 88? And I said right back, I said, if only you knew what I did. And that's when a light bulb went off in my head that I had to share this story with you guys to serve as a reminder to start having these conversations with your friends. Heck, tag them in the comments of this post and let them know that talking about fuel prices at dinner is in fact cool. I specifically wanted to incorporate this example so I could bring up storytelling. Yes, stories, that thing that connects us all together. Use stories in your social media marketing strategy to relate to your audience, get them to know, like, and trust you more, and increase that engagement. Finally, entertain your followers by being funny or just making them smile. We were able to utilize a trend that was popping off at the time and relate it to fueling up with unleaded 88. It was quick, to the point, and took no time at all to create. I finally wanted to share this last example that took off recently that a lot of people shared their thoughts and opinions on in the comments. Let's take a look. Today we are at a local high school to evaluate the parking jobs in this parking lot. Let's do it. Go, shorty. It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. Now, did we come out and blatantly say, fuel up with unleaded 88? No, but I was able to connect with my audience and with a topic that was unleaded 88 adjacent, so I can leverage that for future content. Now, I'm all about talking about our brand without selling our brand. And you're not gonna like what I'm about to say, but everything you create will either attract or repel those who see it. Now, that statement might have just made you fall out of your seat because we all want to connect with every single person who comes our way. But hear me out. You won't be for everyone, and that is okay. I need you to come to terms with the fact that not everybody is your dream customer, and that is okay too. Continue to share what you know and what you want to be known for from your dream customer through education, empowering, and entertaining content. Tip number 2 is to use relevant keywords. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Instagram captions are searchable, making this a really great way for people to discover you through copy. It doesn't even have to be a hashtag. This is why, as businesses and brands, our captions matter. You're not an influencer who can say weekend photo dump and expect the likes and comments to come rolling in. It doesn't work like that when using social media, a free marketing tool, might I add, on behalf of your business. Use keywords that would attract your dream customer. Take the gas station snacks example I just showed you. Within that caption, yes, I am calling out Unleaded 88, but I am also calling out gas station snacks, which is a keyword that attracts my target audience. What you can do with keywords is take a post that had no relevance at all to your brand and make it relevant through the caption. Tip number 3 is to position yourself as an authority. I hope that no matter where you're listening from right now, that you are flipping your hair and off your shoulder and owning the fact that you are an online authority. And that's amazing. This is the confidence we all should aspire to have, regardless of how much wisdom you have in your space. You don't need to have 40 years of experience to be admired by others. All you need to be is a few steps ahead of the crowd you're wanting to talk to. We do this by not only educating young drivers about Unleaded 88, but by sharing tips and tutorials on other car-related topics that they would find helpful in the future. Like this one, where we quickly highlighted ways that you can get better gas mileage on your car. Or this step-by-step tutorial on how to check your tire pressure.
Be young and in love in New York City. Fast, we were staying in Paris. I want you to be happier. All you have to do is say.
You show people what you know and that you have the knowledge they need by showing up on social media. We all have something valuable to share, and it becomes a valuable business asset because your content is your credibility. You'll be surprised at how quickly you'll become respected and viewed as someone extremely knowledgeable and admirable in your industry. Share what you know. That's how you become an authority. Last but not least is tip number 4, and that is to, you guessed it, be consistent. I know. You get tired of hearing it, but it's the truth. You can't expect to show up on Instagram once a week and demand 300 more followers. You have to be consistent to understand what your followers are wanting from you and then create content based on that. Change is the only way you will get change. Now, I understand that you might not love the thought of creating content, and I'm here to tell you that I don't know very many businesses that do. I'll even set the record straight right here and tell you that I don't like creating content to the capacity that people assume I do. But I do it because I know the results lie on the other side of consistency, that I have to do things a little differently to stand out from the crowd. And the easiest way that I found that you can stand out from the crowd is to be consistent. And thankfully, you have us to help you with that. If scaling your business is one of the goals you are setting for 2024, I'm inviting you to sign up for a free discovery call with us. In this discovery call, we are going to get the opportunity to learn a little bit more about you and what pain points your business wants help solving so we can create a marketing solution that is unique to your business's needs. You can head to info.itsbeingbang.com/create, or you can click the link in the episode description to schedule your call so you can enter 2024 with a bang. We can't wait to hear from you soon. Bye.